Patch 1.01, so 1.0 got a hotfix. So you've got a couple of nanoseconds to chill out before Pearl Abyss send us something else. My name is Couch Coop. I always feel rushed. I never get to cover what I want to cover. So in this video we're going to chill, we're going to look at the photo mode, we're going to look at some of those hotfixes, and we're going to look at taming that Wyvern, the whole process. The good thing about that Wyvern is it's quite early game. Black Star does come as a mount, but it's later, and you don't need loads of equipment and XP or anything like that to get the whole thing going. We are not going to include any of the train at this stage. That's probably going to get its own video because it's pretty amazing. All of this footage you are going to see is on a base level PlayStation 5, not a PlayStation Pro, and I keep the specs locked the whole time. Balance mode, 4K, enhanced RT on, sharpening on. Let's do this. I also need to break it to you gentlemen, there is no domain in this video unfortunately. Just look at those jiggle physics. I mean on the robes. Jason's fried, there's some chuds perving over here. Let's get straight to that photo mode because there was some changes with 1.0 and we also have not had the introduction of being able to remove the HUD within game gameplay. That map is tattooed over there on the bottom left, and of course all the prompts are picking things up. It rips me from the immersion when I'm trying to make the game look beautiful. I don't want to have to pause and go into a static photo mode, even though it is incredible. And let me show you exactly what they've changed because they've kind of made it a little bit easier. You've now got two sets of menus, which I've failed to show you on this beginning piece of footage. Basically you have some options to deal with all of the aperture, depth of field, that sort of thing. And then it says, do you want to push square to then reduce those? Once you do that, you then have the directional buttons to position that camera nice and smoothly. I say smoothly, up and down pans are not a thing. So here's the other slightly minor issue. When I do the pans, I want to use both sticks. What I'm talking about is I want that camera to go in a curve, not just a flat left or right or up or down or in or out. The reason I want that is because I'm obsessed with parallax. I want the whole thing to swing round like almost a Matrix freeze time. I can see all the particles, enemy positions, that sort of thing. It's difficult or boring rather, just going left to right. When I instigate both sticks, this is where I start seeing some frame drop. Remember, we're imbalanced, but it just can't deal with it. I just have to either go left to right or up or down. This is kind of normal for photo modes with games that are very complicated. But I think lowering it down to performance, maybe taking that 4K off, is something I'm going to look into experimenting with. With all of the effects in full bloom, on full show, some of this stuff goes past in the blink of an eye. It's great to be able to pause it. That brings me on to my next issue. I've got a move where I can launch people into the air, Devil May Cry. But upon hitting options and then getting over to the photo mode, the game ticks over in the background, literally for half a second. But it's long enough for me to be able to lose what I was initially trying to capture. I have kissed a girl. One of the more unexpected user-friendly sections for looking at the game itself, and you see me use it in loads of the intros. The sit or lean option puts that camera in an almost perfect spot. You can't go in and out on the touch control, that's locked unfortunately, but I've had some really good shots just from leaning against something or sitting on something. Check out the lightning. Let's go to a slightly more exotic location for some static imagery, and the desert is absolutely beautiful, but check out what's going on the perimeter of screen here. You're seeing a lot of that detail sort of load in real time. You'll see a blurred edge. This is maybe a coping mechanism for how they've got that level of detail on the environment, but never noticed it before, hadn't seen it out of the photo mode. Here's an absolutely stunning scene. Are you going to timestamp this, Coop? I totally will. Normally when doing this with some games, I notice low textures on things. I notice stuff that's not really had that much time spent on it. Everything looks completely flawless within Crimson Desert, particularly on the enemies. This is amazing. I'm about to get clouted here. What we need, as well as that HUD being able to be taken off, is a quick select photo mode where we don't have to go to a two-stage menu system in order to capture what's going on. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you get hit in the face by a giant ball. I spoke about the particles in this game and adjusting that meter. It's on 100, it's on the top end, and some of these effects look absolutely incredible.
Here I am, as expected. Take that as you will.
A little bit of Goblin Yoda Mr. Miyagi there. I'm going to keep the spoilers to a minimum. Let's talk taming. Now, taming the avian species, the birds, is surprisingly easy. Just put down the table, which you've got to get from that quest from them annoying kids. Fill it with like whatever, fruit for the little ones, meat for the big bad boys. This is a falcon. Yeah, it's not the Wyvern, but it's certainly cool to have them and a choice of them. And I think you've got like 35 plus slots now. Let's get to the Wyvern. That egg is found in a quest that I'll mark on the map in edit. Hopefully. It is covered in patch 1.08. I will link to that video as well. Pretty simple stuff. Put it in the marked nests and it glows, pulsates and then opens. I'm not quite sure how long in-game that's supposed to take, but it's not ages. So then you've got to level it. So you've got to feed it regularly. Now I thought it was just a whole bunch of meat, just chuck it all on the ground. It doesn't really matter. It's 3 pieces per day in-game days. So you might want to have a kib, get up, feed it again, do some stuff. You don't have to have it following you around all the time, but it is quite a cute thing to look at. Immediately after it hatching, I walk over to a ledge and there's like a whole goddamn Wyvern castle. This game still blowing my mind. I do briefly want to check in on that combat after the hotfix. I ran a small test with 1.10, no major change, and we do still have some problems imbalanced with the huge groups in the forts. I would recommend, because you know you're going to go into one, not like they creep up on you, to notch a few things down to avoid some of those frame drops. But the one-to-one stuff is still very top-notch.
You'll meet your dusk to the tune of my shot. The sand will swallow even your shade.
Okay, let's do the Wyvern second phase. So you've been chucking meat on the ground for 3 days straight. I think it's level 3 and you get a prompt, you go up to it and it just goes ta-da! It's one of my greatest gaming moments of this year, not going to lie. Mainly because it totally changes things on a traversal front. There's bits in this map that you can't get to or are a massive headache to get to on foot or send your horse in on a kamikaze jump. Young Guns was a great film. So to launch it, that wasn't layman to me either. You can use the same controls as Cliff. So square would be launch into the air and X would be walking on the ground quickly. It's got a range attack, you can aim the damn thing. Obviously I went straight for that massive pterodactyl. Then just hightailed it out of here. I think you'll find that's a Quetzalcoatl. How does that photo mode bear up when you're aloft? Well, it's surprisingly workable. I was thinking this is where things are going to come really unstuck. I still can't get that twin stick curve. I can get left and rights, up and downs, but you can see where I'm going here with this never-ending story thing. I need that HUD stripped. I am going to make that video. You'll get demonetized. I don't care. The prophecy is told. Maybe I'll put it on the alternate channel. That rain effect as well, not too popular. I'm sure we'll probably see that tightened up in the future. We've also had some extra music added. Some of it took me by surprise, particularly in the desert. There's some female vocals stuff. It sort of comes in when you've got some downtime. It's very good. I would like more variety, and the battle music for the desert is already starting to get to me. Variants on that would be much appreciated. It would be rude to show off this gun without showing it off. That helm as well. I'm trying to get the full sets before showing them off, or bits that coordinate with each other. The best sets in Crimson Desert is definitely a video I want to make. And just as a close off, I just want to show you a bit more of Delicia. We had quite a lot of it in the previous patch video, and it is an area that does misbehave quite a lot on frame rates in that balance mode. I'm getting quite a lot of comments from people who don't subscribe to me on these previous patch videos telling everyone that not to go forward with the base level PlayStation version of this game because of its performance issues. I personally don't mind it at all. It does drop in areas. You can move the variables around to cater for that. If you are on the fence about this game, I would definitely go for it. Just think in November about open world games and how things are going to change. Star will move the bar like they always do every 7 years. And Nier Automata came up when I was talking about the God of War upcoming changes, shall we just say. Robots totally remind me of some of that material. way stuff blows up, falls apart, it still looks incredible after all these hours I've put into the game. We are coming up to 175. I will leave you with me flying my dragon into the sunset. My name was Couch Coop, and I'll see you down there for patch 1.111. I've finished, Jason. What was that?